3 days ago, you sent her a message. She read it. She didn't reply. You wrote again, "Is everything okay?" And at that exact moment, you lost a test you didn't even know you were taking. Research shows that 73% of men make the same mistake in the first 48 hours of a partner's emotional withdrawal. I will show you what that mistake is. But first, something that will surprise you. There is no right answer to this test. There is only one right state, and most men do not have it. We are used to thinking that relationships are built on openness and honesty, but beneath the surface of conscious communication seethes an ocean of subconscious processes that have been refined by millions of years of evolution. Women's tests are not a whim or an attempt at manipulation in the usual sense of the word. They are a deep, psychologically embedded mechanism for calibrating reality. A way to understand who is actually standing in front of them, because words are cheap and everyone wears social masks today. When she asks an uncomfortable question or suddenly changes her mood, she is not trying to hurt you. She is looking for support. She is looking for the boundaries of your personality to understand whether she can trust you with her emotional and, in the long term, physical safety. Most men make a fatal mistake by perceiving these moments as a logical problem to be solved or a conflict to be extinguished at any cost. But the truth is, there is no right answer to these tests. There is only a right state. The test you have likely already failed concerns your reaction to her silence or slight withdrawal. Recall the moment she became a little less accessible, a little drier in texts, or simply closed off for a moment. What did you do? Most men start to fret in that moment. They feel the ground sagging beneath them and begin to bombard her with questions. What happened? Did I do something wrong? Or they try to overcompensate for her coldness with excessive attention. In that very instant, you lost. Think of a specific person right now, the one with whom you last felt the ground slip from under your feet from just one look or her silence. Here is the question. If she disappeared from your life tomorrow, would you have something to do? Not in the sense of keeping busy so as not to think about her, but in the sense, do you have a mission that would continue? If the answer is difficult for you, that is exactly what she feels. She doesn't hear it, she doesn't see it, she feels it. This is called neediness. This is what creates the tension you try to close with messages, and this is exactly what destroys everything. This is where the story of Michael begins. He came to me in November. He was 34, led a department at a major IT company, earned well, and looked confident, the kind of man people turn to look at on the street. 3 months prior, he met a woman with whom, in his words, he fell in love like he never had before. He messaged me at 1 a.m. One message, "She's gone. I don't understand what happened." When we broke it down step by step, the picture was painfully familiar. Every time Lucy became a bit colder, he called. If she didn't answer, he wrote again. If she wrote briefly, he sent long messages with explanations, with questions, with care that increasingly resembled panic. One day, she simply didn't reply until evening. He drove to her house, just to make sure everything was okay. She opened the door, looked at him, and something in her gaze changed forever. Michael told me a phrase I remembered. I did everything right. I was perfect. I don't understand where I went wrong. And that right there is the whole problem. He wasn't perfect. He was desperate. And desperation dressed up as care is still desperation. She felt it every time the phone vibrated with his name on the screen. Not warmth, not confidence, anxiety. We worked with him for 4 months. And the hardest thing for him was not learning to be silent in response to her silence, but understanding why her silence destroyed him so much in the first place. The answer didn't lie in her. It lay in the fact that outside of this relationship, Michael had nothing to keep him afloat. The project he was about to start, the workouts he would soon resume, the friends he hadn't seen in a long time but would get together with eventually. She was the only living thing in his life, and that scared her more than any of his actions. Harvard psychologists have established men who are the first to break the silence after a conflict are perceived by their partners as 68% less reliable, even if they say the right things. Not because the words are bad, but because the very fact of rushing signals panic. The next time you want to fill the silence, just wait. To understand the nature of these invisible trials, one must look at psychology through the prism of survival. A woman always carries greater risks when choosing a partner. A mistake could cost her years of her life spent on someone who cannot protect, provide, or simply stay nearby in a difficult moment. Therefore, her psyche constantly scans a man for congruence. This is like an engineer testing a bridge for strength before letting a heavy train pass over it. He doesn't hate the bridge, he wants to make sure it can handle the load. One of the most common silent tests is the check for emotional stability through small provocations. She might casually mention her ex or make a sharp remark about your new shirt. She doesn't want to humiliate you. She wants to see how you react to pressure. A man who starts to argue and prove his worth in response to a ridiculous remark has already lost because he has handed over the right to evaluate him into the hands of another person. He who maintains his composure and perhaps even jokes about the situation demonstrates that his self-esteem is within himself. Stop for a second. Recall the last time you changed your opinion during a conversation with her, not because she provided a new argument, but because you felt tension. Did that happen? If so, she noticed it, even if she said nothing. A 2019 University of Florida study showed, in couples where the man takes on 70% of household decisions, women report twice as high a level of sexual attraction to their partner regardless of their political views. This is an uncomfortable fact, because most men do exactly the opposite. They give up the initiative, thinking they are respecting their partner's choice. But where should we go? Is not a question about a restaurant. It is a question about whether you are holding the steering wheel. And every time you answer, whatever you want, you quietly let it go. We are going to that Italian place. Get ready is not tyranny. It is exactly what she is waiting for. And the pain is that the man in that moment sincerely considers himself a good partner, attentive, convenient, not pushing, but it is precisely this softness that gradually erases his image as a leader in her eyes. And later, he doesn't understand at what point he began to be perceived not as a man, but as a safe yet non-arousing presence. According to a 2021 Journal of Personality study, 81% of women who initiated a breakup cited the main reason not as infidelity or conflict, but as the feeling that I lost respect for him. Not love, respect. Love is the last to go. Respect is the first, and the cruelest part here is that this process is almost always quiet, without scandals, without warnings, without a clear point where everything broke. At some point, she just looks at you differently, and you feel it, but it's already too late, because the foundation began to crumble long before that moment. Attraction is not just liking, it is polarity. There is a masculine energy of action and a feminine energy of reception. If a man becomes too soft, too compliant, the polarity disappears, and with it, the passion disappears too. One of the fastest ways to regain a woman's respect and attraction is to say no to her when she crosses boundaries. A man who is afraid to say no for fear of losing a woman loses her at the very moment he decides to stay silent. Boundaries create a structure in which a woman feels safe. Without them, she feels in chaos. Here is how most men perceive her tests. She's trying to control me, but here is what is actually happening. She is trying to hand control over to you. She wants to lose. Every test is a question. Are you strong enough so that I can relax? If you fail, she doesn't rejoice in victory. She is disappointed. Another subtle aspect is the test of social status and behavior in a group. A woman watches very closely how you interact with those around you. How you talk to the waiter, how you behave with friends, how you react when someone behaves disrespectfully. True strength often manifests in quiet confidence and the ability to resolve conflicts without unnecessary noise. If you try to impress by boasting of achievements or dominating others, you fail the test of authenticity. Women possess incredible intuition in recognizing fakes. They see the difference between a person who is truly worth something and one who is merely trying to seem significant. Many therapists advise, share your feelings, be vulnerable, talk about your emotions. This is good advice. But there is a trap. A man who, at the slightest tension, begins explaining his feelings to his partner often isn't building intimacy. He is requesting emotional maintenance. Vulnerability only works when you have a foundation internal stability. Without it, it is not intimacy. It is anxiety dressed up in words about feelings. And the most unpleasant part here is that a woman feels this instantly, not through logic, but at the level of intuition, and instead of closeness, distance is triggered within her. Because standing next to her is not a pillar, but a person looking to be held. And in that moment, you don't become closer. You become another source of tension to distance oneself from. There is also a test of commitment to your goals. If you cancel an important workout or a work meeting, just to see her, you think you are showing love. But in reality, you are showing that she is more important than your own goals. In the short term, she might find it pleasant. In the long term, it kills respect. A woman wants to be part of a man's great journey, not to be the journey itself. And when she sees that you are ready to fold your path for her, she stops seeing you as someone she wants to follow. Because no one wants to be the cause of someone else's loss of self, even if it seems romantic at first. There is a type of man whom women dump 3-6 months after starting a relationship with almost the same phrasing. He did everything for me. But something was off. Psychologists call this the anxiety of excess. When a man pays for everything, agrees to everything, and never says no, the woman begins to feel not gratitude, but anxiety, because no sane person gives away everything without a reason, and she begins to look for that reason. And at some point, it's not his generosity that starts to scare her, but his emptiness, because behind all these actions she doesn't feel a personality, doesn't feel boundaries, doesn't feel a pillar. True balance looks different. You are generous because you have something to give, not because you are afraid of losing her. The difference between these two states is invisible in words, but it is felt instantly. And the most painful thing in this is that the man sincerely thinks he is doing everything right, and in the end, he himself creates the reason why he is no longer respected. One of the most difficult tests is the consistency test. Being confident on a first date is easy. But how do you behave after 3 months, after 6 months when you are tired, when there are problems at work, when you are sick? Do you remain the same person? Or do you turn into someone who starts seeking approval, making excuses, losing your position at the first sign of tension? It is in these moments that the quiet destruction of attraction occurs without scandals, without explanations, simply because the sense of stability next to you disappears. The only way to pass this test is to be honest with yourself from the very beginning. True masculinity requires no effort, it just is. And if it has to be constantly turned on, it means deep down you are still playing a role for which you will eventually have to pay. The silence we started with is perhaps the deepest level of testing. Can you be silent together without feeling awkward? Can you withstand her steady gaze without looking away first? The ability to withstand the tension of silence is a sign of immense inner strength. When you are silent and do not try to fill the space with chatter, you show you are comfortable in your own skin. You are simply present, and this presence acts magically. She feels that next to her is a person who is not afraid of reality. But the truth is, most men break right here. They start joking, saying too much, fretting, just to avoid facing this pressure. Because silence exposes everything: your insecurity, your dependence on a reaction, your inability to simply be. And if you cannot withstand this pause, you cannot withstand yourself. A woman who gives you these tests actually wants you to pass them. She wants to lose in this struggle for leadership. When she finds such a man, she flourishes. She feels that she can be truly soft and open because she knows her world is in reliable hands. And the paradox is that the more she feels this support, the less she needs to test you. But if this support is not there, the tests become harsher, more frequent, and colder, until at some point she simply stops trying. And then it's no longer a game, it's the beginning of the end. Failing one test is not the end of the world. It is a point of growth. Do not look for boilerplate phrases or special techniques. Work on your foundation. Develop your mission, work on your body, your mind, and your craft. When a man has a meaning of life that goes beyond the scope of a relationship with a woman, he automatically passes 90% of all tests. Because his center of gravity is not in her, but in his purpose. And most importantly, at that moment, he stops being afraid to lose, which means he stops clinging. And it is exactly this that brings back the respect that cannot be begged for or bartered for. The next time you feel you are being tested, just take a deep breath. Smile to yourself at this ancient game. Look her in the eyes with a slight spark of humor and warmth, letting her know that you see right through her but accept her entirely nonetheless. That is top-tier mastery. That is what turns an ordinary relationship into a deep journey of two strong personalities. And at that exact moment, you stop being a participant in the game and become the one who sets its rules. A man's path is a path of constant calibration. We learn through mistakes, through broken hearts, and through moments of shame that are later remembered at night when it's silent around you, and you realize how much the attempt to be convenient instead of being yourself cost you. But every such experience makes us wiser, even if at first it seems to have simply knocked the ground out from under you. Women's invisible tests are milestones pointing the way. They show us where we are still dependent on someone else's opinion, where we are ready to betray ourselves for approval that gives no respect anyway. Passing through them, we grow up. And in the end, the most important thing turns out not to be how you passed this or that test, but what kind of person you became in the process. Because you can win the moment and lose yourself, or you can lose the moment but build a core inside that no one can break anymore. Be that lighthouse, be that rock, and let no silence and no tests be able to shake your faith in yourself and your path. Because in reality, the pain is not that you are being tested. The pain is that you yourself sometimes fail the test before the mirror, when you realize you bent again, stayed silent again, chose fear over self-respect again. And it is that moment that breaks you more than any rejection. But it is from that moment that real change begins. In the dynamics of relationships, there is no final point where all tests end. Life will throw new challenges. The key is not to one day become perfect. The key is to love the process of growth itself. When you stop perceiving it as an exam and start perceiving it as a dance, the tension disappears. All that remains is the pure interaction of energies and deep respect for a partner who doesn't let you stagnate. But let's be honest, most men break down not because they don't know what to do, but because in a moment of pressure, they return to old habits and try once again to earn love instead of being someone who is respected. And if you recognized yourself in this, it means you are currently standing at that very point of choice where either everything stays as it is, or you finally stop betraying yourself. Be attentive to the silence. Be true to your center. True strength is always calm. It doesn't scream. It doesn't prove, it simply exists. And that is more than enough. If this thought resonates with you, if you feel it is time to stop living in a mode of constant approval and start building an internal core, subscribe to the Psycheria channel and write in the comments where you last chose yourself instead of fear. Here we gather men who no longer want to be convenient. They want to be real.